Welcome to Digital Nation, your weekly journey around the best of local TV. Whether it's an art exhibition offering a warm welcome or an electrical pioneer finally receiving recognition in his hometown, we give you an insight into the stories you don't see anywhere else. This week, we discover the hidden history of the Roman Empire in Edinburgh. We saddle up for a ride along the promenade in a Landau carriage, and we hear from a young female rapper in Newcastle whose star is shining bright. Loving local? Then let us know what you think by using the hashtag #DigitalNation. First on the show is an art exhibition that's aiming for the record books. The Society for All Artists in Newark has been gathering together thousands of miniature paintings, hoping to set a new world record for the largest number of original paintings in the world. Lots TV met the group's members and had a closer look.
From pile of planks to mountain of masterpieces, it's been a painstaking process sticking up each and every one of these mini paintings, but now it's complete, you can get an idea of just how many we're talking about. The final tally, 32,283 individual works of art. The idea started as a way of reusing the leftover card from picture mounts, but the SAA had no idea they'd have so many responses when they threw it open to their members.
It's just almost overwhelming. You come and you stand and you look, and every time you look and see something different, and you look in another direction, there's something different. There's paintings from children, there's paintings from experts and professionals, there's paintings from beginners, there's paintings from amateurs. It is amazing. The talent out there is just fantastic.
They've had entries from all over the world. These ones have travelled over 11,000 miles from New Zealand. Even if, like that particular artist, you can't make it to the exhibition, you can view it online in this giant digital version. Today, though, the first chance for some contributors to see their work in all its glory, once they've found it anyway.
My contribution to the SAA exhibition is A1. It's a little watercolour and it's called The Turning. It's not only a turning in the road, but it's the turning of summer into autumn.
I decided that I would do something kind of small and detailed, because for me the real challenge was to do something that was so small. Normally when I do things I do it a little bit bigger. I really enjoy Zentangles, I like pen outline, that kind of a thing, so it was great for me to try something different.
This is my painting here. It's just a simple one with flowers. Flowers are my favourite. I'm not a good artist, but I found a few pencils on my desk and that's what I put together.
The big question, though, is the record official? Well, at the moment the SAA are in discussions with Guinness World Records over the exact wording of their bid, but they're confident they'll get the accolade thereafter.
We don't know of any other exhibition of this scale, and certainly not one with original paintings under one roof and done in this way. So it is something pretty special, pretty unique.
A trip to the seaside is a national pastime, and horse-drawn Landau carriages are a regular sight on Blackpool's seafront. A family business has been offering carriage rides along the promenade to its visitors, young and old, for years. And their latest carriages will soon be pulled by a new arrival.
We just followed on a sort of family tradition. There was 3 generations from my brother-in-law, his granddad, his dad and his granddad, they all had landaus on the promenade. We started off with traditional landaus, traditional type, and about 2 years ago we upgraded to Cinderellas. We have twin daughters, 5-year-olds, so it's a whole princess thing. So
it seems so much more popular on the promenade on the front now. That the children loved the Cinderellas on the front, and they were a lot more popular than the traditional style landaus. Oh, we're over the moon. We're absolutely over the moon. We couldn't have wished for a better colour. Absolutely brilliant.
She's very unique. She's bubbly. She's nice. So we're very happy with her. We own both the parents, both Peaches and Cream and Vanilla. They both work on the promenade, working horses. She's having a year off, obviously maternity leave with a fall, and she'll be attending next season. She'll be back on in 2017 on the promenade. They do a unique job. They
mainly work.
The working horses, they enjoy it.
Yeah. We have them for pleasure as well. I ride too, so Colin drives for pleasure as well as for work, so I ride. I do a bit of showing as well. Vanilla's been to a couple of shows. He's done really well. Peaches and Cream hopefully next year when she's foalless and the foal's weaned off and old enough to be on her own. will take us to some shows, I think. Yeah, we do. It's more than just a job. We have them for pleasure as well.
To Glasgow now, and the creation of a football group aimed at young people who use metal frames to help their mobility. Frame Football Glasgow has joined forces with Partick Thistle Football Club to give youngsters the opportunity to hone their footballing skills in a fun and safe environment.
Frame football is for children between the age of 3 and 16, boys or girls. They have to have a frame of some sort. They don't have to necessarily have cerebral palsy. That's not the disability that you need. As long as you have a frame and you're wanting to play football, you're more than welcome to come along and play. There was a frame football in Fife. We went up there to see how it all set up and everything. The SFA in turn approached a couple of football clubs, and Partick Thistle was the one that said that they'd like to help us. And the rest is history. For the first maybe 40 minutes, we have the different stations. As you can see, you've got beat the goalie, you've got like trying to dribble the ball around, just like to promote their skills. And then towards them, what we do is we split the big ones from the wee ones, and then we have a little game of football. You'll see later that they go for it, especially the girls.
I'm not really good at football, but
I don't know, I've seen you out there. I thought you were pretty good.
I like playing it because originally before I had my operation, I wouldn't be able to kick a football, and now I can just run about, and it's helpful. I can have it every Sunday morning, and that's my exercise. I still do exercises at home, but this is my exercise when I wake up and go to football. I can't just sit down all day.
Oh no, absolutely not. You've been running about here all morning. How much do you enjoy playing football?
So much, yeah. It's made me make new friends, and it's made me more active.
You find that it's getting easier, you're getting better?
Yeah. Like, I'm coming home and just want to go to my bed. That's how tiring it is.
But you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's so good.
When arriving in a city for the first time, it's always nice to receive a warm welcome. An artist group in Leeds has addressed this with a bright and positive art piece in the city's train station that is sure to put a smile on the face of newcomers and seasoned commuters alike.
We've been commissioned by Leeds City Council and Leeds Bid to create this commission in the train station, which is a sculptural piece representing a big and iconic and welcoming hello to Leeds. The brief to us was to create something warm and friendly and a big iconic welcome. So we took that, and what we wanted to do was represent creativity in Leeds on the whole. We didn't think it was right to use kind of one partner, illustrator, artist, whatever, to represent the whole city. It should be a collaborative piece. So we designed the letters in mind that it could be kind of completed and as a big group. So there was approximately kind of 8 to 10 artists involved in the end, 5 of which did the actual illustrations, and a lot more partners behind the scenes. Every 6 months or so, or as regularly as possible, the individual letters will change. The outer shells of the letters will always remain the same, but the artwork in between them will update and be regularly themed around the city. So whether it's current events or something interesting, we want to shout about it and use this as a perfect forum in the station. The artists involved are all up-and-coming, young, kind of aspiring artists and designers. So it's a public arena like this is not usually the kind of the space they get to showcase their work. So we're keen to get their kind of work out there and just make it enjoyed by everybody.
So what we can see is loads of synthesizers, drum pads. There's loads of different music machines that make music, and that was because we came to Leeds because we really liked electronic music, and we wanted to welcome people with happy synth machines. We just want people to come into Leeds Station, want them to see this brilliant display and just be really happy.
Next, we pay a visit to Liverpool, where an electrical trailblazer is being honoured for his achievements. Dr. Sebastian Ferrante's status as one of the pioneers of electrical engineering is now recognised with a blue plaque at his birthplace, as Bay TV discovered.
It's a very special day to see someone who really made such a difference to the electrical distribution industry remembered in this way. And for Liverpool, it's obviously, I hope, something of some pride, because he really was born in this building from an insanely humble beginnings with really poor parents, both of whom were artists, both of whom were immigrants from different parts of the world. Particularly pertinent today to watch a couple, one of whom had come from America and Ireland, the other of whom had come in a migratory way across Belgium with family traumas of his own and a very scant chance of making a living as a very early stage photographer. And out of that was born a child who turned out to be exceptionally gifted, patented over 100 different devices, built a huge multinational company. And it was written from this second floor of this unremarkable building that such an amazing emanation occurred.
Oh, we're incredibly proud of him. Incredibly proud of him, but I think we all feel that what he did isn't recognised enough. Because there was a man called Edison who made himself very famous. And he, I think, has tried to take credit for all the beginning of the generation and distribution of electricity. But no, we did it. It happened here in Liverpool. It happened in Britain, in Liverpool. And yes, so we've got to remember that.
That brings us to the end of part 1, which can only mean it's quiz time. In which city can the Titanic Engineers Memorial be found? Is it A, Grimsby, B, Belfast, or C, Southampton? Come back and join us in part 2 for the answer. Welcome back to Digital Nation. Before the break, we asked you, in which city can the Titanic Engineers Memorial be found? And the answer is C, Southampton. The memorial to the engineers who died in the Titanic disaster was erected on the 22nd of April 1914 and is located in Andrews Park in Southampton. The legacy of the Roman Empire in Britain is all around us, and the campaign to conquer Scotland is often believed to have been brought to an abrupt end by the construction of Hadrians Wall in 122 AD. However, historian Fergus Sutherland suggests there is more to the Romans' campaign in Caledonia than meets the eye.
About 2,000 years ago, the Roman army swept out of Italy and began conquering Europe and North Africa. They reached Britain in AD 43 and crushed that as well. They thundered all the way up to Scotland, and there they met their match. There they advanced ground to a halt. They built Hadrian's Wall, and that was the end of the Roman Empire. Scotland won, Romans nil. But is that what really happened? The Roman Empire was the greatest in the ancient world. It controlled all the lands of the Mediterranean, including North Africa. It also had great chunks of Western Europe and Great Britain. In AD 43, the Roman army, under the instructions of the Emperor Claudius, launched its invasion of mainland Britain, the start of centuries of permanent occupation. Years before the building of Hadrian's Wall, a man named Gnaeus Julius Agricola became governor of Britannia, the province of Great Britain. In AD 79, he was the first man to take a Roman army north into the mysterious, unknown land of the Caledonians. For a few years, Agricola's army rampaged through what is now southern Scotland, first into the borders, then into Ayrshire, then across to Lothian. Then they began moving up the east coast, building marching camps as they went. One of the greatest of those camps was built at Ardogh, near Braco, in Perthshire.
Advances in medical science can change lives, and 4-year-old Charlotte from Manchester, who has cerebral palsy, is currently fundraising towards a trip to the USA to undergo a revolutionary surgical procedure that could enable her to walk for the first time. That's Manchester spoke to Charlotte's parents about this potentially life-changing trip.
4-year-old Charlotte is facing life in a wheelchair, unless she receives what could be life-changing surgery in the United States that may help her fight her cerebral palsy.
We hope by having this operation that it will help Charlotte get up on her feet and moving around. We hope that it's going to help Charlotte with any pain that she may have in the future caused through the tightness in her muscles.
When Charlotte was born, she was living in constant pain. She couldn't sleep, she couldn't feed properly, and her family were unsure if she was going to make it. It wasn't until she was 18 months old that she was diagnosed with cerebral palsy.
The hospital that we were under said that they'd never actually seen a child so poorly, in so much pain at that particular time.
The twin brother and sister were born 8 weeks premature. As Daniel has met his milestones growing up, Charlotte has been left behind.
She watches Daniel run round, she watches Daniel play, and she asks all the time, can I walk like Daniel? That's really, really hard as a parent to listen to.
A local girl band, Lashes, heard Charlotte's story and wanted to do something to help. So they wrote a song about her in order to raise money for the operation.
For me, and for the girls as well, actually, I think working on the song for Charlotte's been one of my most proudest moments.
We first played it to her in their living room. Oh my God, she adored it. Like, she was dancing and singing.
Her smile lights up the room and she starts dancing.
The family are so grateful and have been overwhelmed by the trio's kindness towards little Charlotte.
Kept us going, really, and it just gives us such hope for the future.
One thing we can be proud of in Great Britain is our sporting heritage. And after Great Britain's Davis Cup win in 2015, the trophy itself has been on a national tour. Now it's arrived in Sheffield, and Sheffield-born tennis star Roger Taylor was on hand to encourage more young people to grab a racket and take up the sport.
Well, it's known as the Davis Cup legacy. Great Britain won the Davis Cup in November last year. First time for how many years? 60, 70 years. So to build on that legacy, they want to get more children playing tennis. So that's what this day is about. It's an open day for clubs to come, for schools to come. Some of the players are pretty good already. I've been hitting with a few of the kids and they're really good. And I think there'll be some other kids coming in who haven't played much.
Why do you think children in certain areas haven't got experience playing tennis?
Really, you do need someone to teach you the game, so perhaps a parent who likes tennis and plays tennis. But I think if the parents could get to know about the programs, there are many free programs now, and this mini tennis is an amazing game because any child can play immediately. You know, they've got softballs, small rackets and small courts, and they can immediately really pick up the game, and hopefully they enjoy it and they get going and start playing some little tournaments, and that's how it all starts. Sheffield parks are being promoted and mini tennis, junior tennis is being played. The court surfaces are being resurfaced. The parks are being really upgraded. So what we have in Sheffield are lots of tennis courts which are in perhaps downtrodden a little bit in the parks. So now they get investment and they're all just as good as anywhere. So lots of places to play and that program's going well.
Time to check out some cunning creativity in this week's Creative Kingdom.
Computers are great when you know how they work. And the first person to do that was a woman from Kirkby Mallory in Leicestershire called Ada Lovelace. Her dad was Lord Byron, but he was too busy flouncing around Europe, so her mum swore that she'd become the polar opposite of a poet, a mathematician. In 1842, she linked up with Charles Babbage, who was working on a mechanical adding machine called the analytical engine, but he couldn't exactly understand its possibilities. An Italian engineer had a go at explaining it, and Ada was asked to translate his findings. She ended up adding 3 times more notes, including note G, an algorithm that made her the world's first computer programmer. Over 150 years later, Microsoft used her face on their authentication holograms, making her one of the most reproduced images in the world. Proof, once again, that when it comes to creativity, innovation, and getting with the program, in Leicestershire Mint.
Next, we visit an art gallery in Portsmouth, where a group of young art lovers have taken on the role of curators. This innovative move to hand over a brand new exhibition and programme of events to the next generation proves that when you let young people take the reins, great things can happen.
Aspie
Because it's a publicly funded gallery, so it belongs to everyone. And the premise of the Future Aters is to kind of experiment with what it's like to hand over the programming control of a public gallery to a group of young people so that they get their voices heard in what they think is important and relevant in the arts. And we develop a better relationship with young people in the city.
I like the fact how much control we have. We get to make all the decisions, and that's really something you don't really get a lot of control at this age, so it's nice to be able to plan what we're going to do and choose what artistic style we want to explore.
And although their work is very much about art, the main inspiration for their work is Portsmouth.
Every week we meet up and we discuss art and Portsmouth, basically. So this year we've met with 10 artists and arts professionals, and then we spent 10 weeks at the Portsmouth City Archives working with Michael Gunton, who's the senior archivist and is fantastic. So we've been really exploring the history of the city and thinking about how artists could connect with that and kind of bring out new voices in the city as well.
It's nice looking at Portsmouth because it's local to everyone. Everyone has some connection with Portsmouth, and it's nice that we have different connections. Some people go to the uni in Portsmouth, some people live in Portsmouth, I work in Portsmouth. So we all bring something different that we want out of the city and that we need to see happen here, and it's nice being able to portray that through art.
Finally, we hear from a young female rapper from the northeast, whose hip-hop and freestyle performances have been causing a stir in her hometown of Newcastle. Kay Grayson has been rapping from the age of 6, and her performance on Made in Tyne and Wear clearly shows that she's a talent to watch.
Yeah, alright, it's Kay Grayson. Yeah, because I hop up on the metro. No dough, I keep my head low. Don't talk, you see my headphones. I'm practicing my next flow. I link the homie Soulsby. We go to where the pros be. Snapping selfies, ain't no smiling, homie. Keep it stony. And every time we come to town, we see the same kids around. Used to think that they was cool. I guess that we know better now. I got work at 9 a.m. I arrive at 5 to 10. Traffic, ain't no traffic, kid. I guess I gotta lie again. This just be the life I live. But I'm gonna make it big. Change it up so I can hit my haters like I guess I win. Get my mama double doors, staircase, marble floors, move out to a penthouse. Hired help to do my chores, couple million in the back. House in Chile and in France, making tracks that hit me back like, would you like a cash advance? Till then I'ma struggle, homie. Cheeseburger double, homie. Keep me in the studio working until they know me, homie. Right. 1, 2, 3 to the 4, yeah. It goes 1, 2, 3 to the 4. Shout outs to the lowdown, let's do it. Yeah, in a world where everything is just so damn temporary. Cause the thing that stick around, we treat them like they are not necessary. Family ain't seeing family, I guess this is hereditary. I already said I'm ready for a change, see the same, it's insane. If they say I'm innocent, then hypocrite's my middle name. Cause more than a little pain, playing all these little games. Sorry, I can't call you back, leave a message at the beat. But I never got the message, guess that I just pressed delete. Spent too much time running around, guess I gotta rest my feet. Back up at the studio, I guess I gotta hit the beat. I can see my history, I guess that I just hit repeat.
And that completes our rundown of the best of local. If our stories have inspired you, then don't forget there's more you can see on each of the local TV channels' websites. Or why not catch up on previous episodes by visiting bbc.co.uk/digital nation. Till next week, goodbye.